I got Aries cat here with me.
Y'all.
Yeah, we're starting this here. I'm getting a pattern piece like y'all requested. Hopefully I'm getting this in shot.
Yeah.
We're gonna do Alice's dress, similar to that. We'll just have to modify a little bit. So this is the closest we could find. So Simplicity 8444.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. We're gonna use the A and B option. And we have to go all the way down here. Let me switch. Hopefully they got it.
448.
446. 443. Oh no.
Oh no.
Where's 8444? Oh,
there it is. Right in front of us.
So this is it. So hopefully.
Are you sure that's the right? Do they come in different sizes?
Yeah, it says, well, this says 4 to 12. We need higher than that.
What does this say?
12 to 20. That's me. Because that's as high as they go. All right, we're getting the 12 to 20. I'm probably a little bigger than that, but we'll just add a crap ton of seam allowance. Sound like a plan?
I'm too old for this.
Yes, this is what we're getting for the Alice dress.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, because they did have the original Alice in here,
Yeah.
which was...
Yeah, they got quite a bit. Yeah, and this is what it was. But if you look at the design, it's kind of too ruffly for what I need.
Yeah, because all she needs is simple, plain,
Yeah.
like 1800s dress.
Yeah. So, and this is pretty close to it. It's the closest that we've seen.
And we like little leaders.
Yeah. So this will be our best option.
Yes.
But okay. And I got me an invisible zip. Well, not an invisible zipper, a white zipper. But the buckles are going to hide it anyway. So yeah.
And I...
Got stuff for you.
Oh, my heartburn. Got stuff for me, glue sticks, and a wallet.
Yep. So this is
And
the start.
double-side tape.
Yes, we need to go get double-side tape now. Okay.
Love you guys.
See you in the craft room.
Bye.
Bye. Muckins. Alright, today we're going to be making the Alice dress, and I'm using this pattern, the 8444 P5 Simplicity. I get the size 12 through 20, and the size 20 will work for me, but we're going to make moderations to this and modify the pattern to make it the Alice dress that we need, because we don't need all of this. This is just a pretty good base that I found, which y'all saw video previously. Okay, so I cut out the number 3, which is the blouse. It's technically the front left, but I flipped it over to the right side because we'll be flipping it to do it on the other side, to do the actual side it's supposed to be on. Now, I have this folded because this fabric is see-through with just one layer, so I need to do 2 layers, and I'm hoping I have enough fabric. As you can see, I only have, about to lose y'all, I only have 5 yards total, and I have to make the entire dress. I'm hoping that will be enough, question mark. It says on the back how much fabric you need and stuff like that, but I kind of bought the fabric before this. So, which according to this, you need 5 3/4. Or for my size, we might need 6 yards. I'm hoping that's not the case. So, I'm kind of making it semi-baggy for now, because I can always go back and adjust it later. So I'm hoping I have enough for the skirt. So for now, we're just going to trace our pattern pieces, which right now is the front blouse, and I also have the sleeve, which I folded, like right here's the casing line, and right here is the rest of it because it makes a ruffle, but we don't need a ruffle and we just need a normal case. So I just folded it on the casing line because we're going to stick elastic there, and pattern pieces are expensive, so I just went with this to make it easier. And then this is the back. again. Now, the adjustment I have to make for the front is the chest, because the chest is a deeper cut than this. So I marked it, and I'm going to go through and try to connect it up as neatly as possible. So that's what we're doing. So just copy your pattern pieces after you measure it to your size, which I used one of my old dresses that fits me to measure this. So, all right, let's go. I cut where we need that modification line. So this should help us get a better idea of what we need. Now we need to flatten out the fabric. Mark where we need to do it with added seam allowance. You don't need to add the seam allowance here, just over here. But y'all can't see, so do it over there, not in the middle. And then we'll flip it over to the other side. And it's kind of curved because it wants you to do this darting thing in the front, which Alice's dress doesn't have that. So I'm going to kind of ignore that, I'm thinking, and just leave it like that because we're adding a circle skirt to it anyway. So, yeah. Now, commence marking out your pattern. Alright, now that we got it flattened out, now we can cut it.
This fabric is on a fold, that way you can just flip it straight over and copy it to get the exact pattern.
There it is. Alright, there's our front. That's that one. Alright, and here comes the back piece. But we gotta leave the back the same because in the back it is all the way up, so we're leaving the back as is. Now, we're going to trace around this and give it a heaping amount of seam allowance just to be safe. Here's our sleeve. We only need to copy this twice because, like I said, we're not going to line the sleeve. I mean, unless you want to. We have all these scraps back here, but I would suggest you save them for the horse. So, we're going to make our sleeves. And what I'm going to do, so I'm going to fold this in half. I'm going to fold this in half. And we're going to give extra seam allowance because we did on the top half of the dress. But we need to put it, there we go. Alright. There you go. Now we're copying it, cutting it out, doing that twice, keep your scraps. Right here is my scrap pile. But like I said, it's good for the horse. And then I'll use that line later to cut the casing thing. Alright. Which we'll wait till after. Now, I'm going to figure out how to cut the skirt. So get this, I was sitting here like, how the heck do I make the skirt? How do I make the skirt? Well, I only have, I think it's a yard, I didn't measure it. But, guess what? It goes to right here in the back, to where I have this much space. Now with the petticoat on, it'll bring it to about here because it's going to make it flare out. So what I figured is, why not just leave it alone and just cut it right in half here on top, because as you can see, it's folded in half. Okay, folded in half. So what if I just cut, like make sure it's completely in half, and just cut right here where it's folded, and then I could just sew the pieces together on the ends. And if it's big, that's fine, because I'll have to gather it a little bit anyway to connect it to the skirt. Because the main reason why I was having issues, because this is the perfect length I need, like once I hem it. But when I was looking at the skirt, because that's what was bugging me this whole time, as you can see, it's gathered a little, but it's a bell shape. It's not a circle skirt, it's not a rectangle skirt. It's kind of bell-shaped. Which, it kind of looks like a circle skirt in this picture, but if you go to, give me 1 second and I'll show you. I'll show you. Alright, these are screenshots, so. But you can see that the skirt is basically straight all the way around. So a circle skirt will not work for this situation. It'll be too high. So my best method is to just really just fold this thing in half and make it like a rectangle skirt, I guess it would be. I mean, and yeah, if it's big, that's fine, because we can just gather it up and then sew it straight to it. I don't see why not, because I don't, like, here, let me back up. Alright, let me put it about where it'll land. See what I mean? When I move to the side, it stays like it should, and when it's gathered, it's going to create all those creases that I need. So I'm just going to cut it in half and roll with that, because I like the look of this the way it is, I guess you could say. Because with the petticoat, it's going to round it out to that bell shape anyway. So I think this will work perfectly, in my opinion. I could be completely wrong about this, and maybe I should cut it diagonally up, but with my size, it's kind of hard to do that, you know what I mean? I mean, I could, by folding it like this, and then cutting it like that, and then cutting it in half, but the way I see, I don't really see why I need to do that. And I can just leave it, because it kind of does its own. I know I'm moving around very oddly, I'm sorry. But even if it ends up being that long, that works out perfectly fine, because by the time I hem it, you know, you get what I'm saying? And I think this will turn out perfectly fine. So, we're just going to cut this off up here and sew the edges together. So let's try that. I think that would be the best option. Which, as you can see, this side turned out a tad bit longer, but that's okay. We're hemming it anyway. When it comes time, we're just gonna hem this together to make it one full skirt. So next section is all pinning. That's one. That's the skirt. This is literally where we cut it at the top, and this is where we're sewing it together. Yay! It's gonna look really nice. All right. So skirt is pinned. Okay, now we're gonna zigzag stitch our sides and shoulders up. I have them right sides facing each other, so that way we sew it inside out. So, come on. There we go. So, you can see the liner stitch work right here. It's so that way whenever we flip it, it looks nicer. So this is what you do. Your shirt might be bigger than your back, which is good. That's what you want. So do that. And yeah. Being a total ditz and forgot to film this. What I did was I hemmed up everything on the shirt, including the bottom. Just did a rolled hem with a zigzag stitch. And then I also did it around the collar too. That way it's done after I sewed up the sides. And then I gathered up the skirt. I did it inside out. And what I did is a hand running stitch. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're just doing it so it'll fit onto that. So now, after you finish it off, there's tutorials on YouTube on how to do a running stitch, or you can look back at my poof tutorial for Harley, and I did it there too. It's just basically you put your needle in and scrunch up the fabric as you go, and you tie it off on the end. And now we're going to go ahead and sew up the dress, well, the skirt. We're going to close this off, and then we're going to sew it to the dress or shirt. Yeah. Now I pin the two pieces together, inside out of course, after it's fully gathered. And now we're going to zigzag stitch it together. Maybe. See, normally with these type of skirts you would use a waistband, but in this case the shirt will work just fine. Come on. There we go. So yeah, I just pinched it like that, and we're just gonna stitch it on there. And that's basically it. And then there's the dress. It just needs sleeves. So here we go. Okay, sewed it together. So there's the dress. I put it on. It's too long and it's too big, but that's good. We can work with that. What I'll need to do, I'm thinking of, don't really want to shorten it. I'm going to try tucking it into my waistline and see if that helps, because I need some room. I'm going to try it on later with the bra and stuff, and then pin it and things to tuck it in and go from there. And as far as the length, I can roll that up another time. So I can roll it up a little more. So, like I said, it's a pretty easy fix, and I didn't flatten this or anything, which naturally you'll want to open up the seam and flatten it, or just cut it off. I didn't want to risk it, so I didn't do it. You could top stitch it on the other side, which most people do that, but I'm not doing that. So I'm going to try to fix it to fit on me and go from there. So this is what we got. Okay. Alright, before I add on the sleeves, I personally think this would be easier. I'm trying to move my chair so y'all can see what's going on. As you can see, this part goes here, but this goes like all the way down there. And with the tulle and stuff underneath, yeah, y'all can't see it. I need it to go a little above my knee. So in other words, we gotta get rid of a lot of this. And as you can see, it's really big on me. So I'm wearing the clothes I plan on wearing underneath, which is just my bra. Not like y'all need to know that, but yeah, I'm wearing pants too. But this is, yeah, that's beside the point. So what I figured is I'm going to bunch it up in the front, then I'm going to pinch it on the same on the back. Does that make sense? Like pinch the fabric, like about where I think it should sit, which I'm going by this, because I want to show the pants underneath, and it's kind of pointless if you can't see it, which if I pull all this up to where it needs to go, which is about right here, I'm thinking, because I got to think of the petticoat too. I'm trying not to pin, so this is just a little hard to do. And with the petticoat, it'll flare it out. Yeah, that's about where I want it. y'all down so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, this is where it is normally. Right there's my knee. Needs to be sitting right here. So I'm thinking of moving this up to about right here, because it'll hit right on the knee, and then with the poof out, oh well, needs to go a tad bit more. This is going to be interesting to sew. Thinking about right here. Trying to see on the camera. Yeah, because that's where it needs to be, and then it flares out like that compared to that. Okay, this is what I ended up coming up with. I had to cut it separately, like cut it in 2 pieces, again like we did before. And so, I figured out how much I needed to cut off, because the gathering thing was just not working out. So, I risked it and cut it again. And I think I'm going to end up liking this better. So, I just basically put a pin, cut it, and now I'm going to hem it. This is what the back looks like. And I went ahead and stuck it on my mannequin and tucked in the sides. Come on. And I tucked in the sides on both ends. I left some room because I want to be able to move around still. So I didn't want it to be like constricted. That, and when I installed the zipper, come on. When I install the zipper into the back later, it's going to be tightening up even more. So this gives me leeway for that. Because when it gets in there, it'll probably tighten up like that. And since I'm bigger, it would just look more flattering. Again, this is inside out, so it looks kind of odd. But yeah, so we're going to, come on, focus on me. I really hate this camera. I really need a new one desperately. I'm going to hem this, come on, and hem this. And also while I'm at it, I rolled up the skirt again, and I'm going to hem it one more time on the bottom just to make it look nice and keep it from unraveling. So I'll get back to you when I do all that before we attach it. Okay, I went ahead and pinned it after I tailored it in, after I tailored the top in and everything. So now we're going to zigzag stitch the skirt to the shirt. And that should make our dress. I went ahead and hemmed the bottom, so everything's pre-hemmed and done, we just need to attach it. So, zigzag stitch it, and what I did for the top of the skirt, because I know that from where I cut it, the hem from the old shirt was showing, so I had to fold it again and put it in there. But if anything, it'll help with my length issue. And sorry if you hear the kids coughing. Come on, camera. It was focusing perfectly fine earlier before it shut off. There we go. I'll get back to you with it on. Here it is. It looks much better. It's more tailored to me. The neck looks nice and flush. And the dress is much better. It's shorter. Like, I have this hip thing that sticks out right here, but with a petticoat on, I'm sure that should fix itself, I imagine. And you could really tell right here, but with a petticoat on, it's going to flare out the dress anyway. But if not, I can fix it. Now Let's show y'all how short it is. There's my knee. It's right at the perfect length. Alright, I'm going to throw the petticoat on, which is this floofy thing. We're going to put it on underneath and see what it looks like. Alright, and this is with the petticoat. So you can still see the hip pieces where I kind of had a malfunction. Come on, focus. See? You can't see it as bad whenever I wear the petticoat. Still see it a little bit. That is okay. I'm tempted to top seam this, but the apron's gonna hide it anyway. What am I freaking out about? The apron is going right here. I need to stop freaking out. Okay, man, this is what we got. And this is with the petticoat. There's the back. Now the petticoat is a lot longer, so you can show some ruffle if you want, but she doesn't. So what I did, I'll show y'all underneath what's going on. I double folded up here to make it lay. But, so yeah, then you got the pants, but this is the perfect length I wanted. It's absolutely perfect. Looks really good. Now we just need the puffy sleeves. So I guess that's what we're going to work on next, is the puffy sleeves. I'm still going to add a zipper to the back, even though I slip this on over me. I just think the zipper would help tighten everything and make it look nice and flush. So, this is where we're at. So now we're going to do the sleeves, which I have those cut out already. Y'all saw that. So, yeah, let's do the sleeves next.